You're all here also because of your generous donations. I wanted to thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This class is a donation-based class, and all the proceeds will be going to Gallup, New York City. And Gallup, and those of you that are just joining, please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves so we're not hearing any sort of background noise. Thank you. And I have been practicing at Gallup so now since January last year, so just over a year. And I've always wanted to connect with horses. And the first horse that I ever connected with, her name, she's just a gorgeous, gorgeous white pony, Rosebud. And the first time I ever worked with her, I literally wept. I literally cried. And my instructor even asked me, she's like, "Why are you crying?" We just started. And I was just like, "But she's so beautiful." And like these feelings, and I don't know what I'm feeling. And she said, you know, it's so normal. It's so natural because they show you what you are. She is mirroring you, and everything that you are coming to her with, she is doing the same thing as you. So if you are kind, she's going to be kind. If you are angry, she's going to be angry. Mm-hmm. If you are resistant, she's going to be resistant. If you are tense, she's going to be tense. So I was really taught from a very, very early stage of my practice, of my horse riding practice, is to check yourself first. Check yourself before you create any connection with the horse itself. So this meditation is really about checking ourselves. It's called the mirror within. It's very easy to look at a mirror, or maybe it's not easy to look at a mirror and to see, but what is the mirror inside of us truly saying, especially in the state of confusion and chaos? A couple of you, please mute yourselves. Aslajim, please mute yourself. We can hear your background noise, darling. Yes, the mirror within, truly understanding what that mirror is showing us on a very, very deep level. What are we seeing? And as we are looking at it, are we truly seeing what it is, right? That question that comes up for me all the time is, what is real? What is real? And I was talking about this in my live stream today, is that it's like we're all having this ayahuasca ceremony. It's like we're all having this ayahuasca trip where all of these illusions are being completely shedded, completely shifted, right? We're living in this new world, which of course will be temporary. We will go back to our new normals. We will go back to our jobs. We will go back to our routines, our day-to-day lives. Of course we will. But at the same time, what are we going to learn from this experience when we do finally go back out there? What are we going to do when we truly harness that home within us? The full moon is in the sign of Libra. Are there any Libras here? If you are a Libra, go ahead and just let us know. And also if you are an Aries, who's an Aries here? If you're a Libra or an Aries. So the full moon is in Libra, but the sun is in Aries. So you've got a lot of power. Libra is all about balance, right? That perfect harmony. It's if you find a scale, right? If you see a scale, you want the scale to be really, really light and very, very equal. So this brings us to, you know, the teachings of union, the teachings of oneness, the teachings of bringing the duality together. Libra is also very giving. It's a lot of self-work. Libra signs are a lot about the outside world, taking care of the outside world, whereas Aries is the complete opposite. And Aries is my sun sign, and Aries is a powerhouse. Aries, since the sun is moving through Aries, this is a time to harness your individual power. Now, Aries is all about individual. It's all about me, 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 me. And I'm not like that because I do have Capricorn and I do have Virgo in my signs. My rising is Virgo, and my moon is Capricorn. So I'd also love to know if you know your rising, if you know your moon. That usually tells me immediately from the get-go a lot from a person. So if you are interested, you know, in signs and astrology and the cosmic world, I'm not an astrologer, but I do have a strong kind of desire to learn more about it, because the cosmos completely affect us. And astrology, if you ask any astrologist, they've been talking about this virus for many years, many years. They've constantly been saying a virus is going to be coming to our world, and we are going to be hitting a huge pause. If you go back and you do some research, many astrologers have been talking about this virus from a very long time. It's just really tuning in with not just the 3D world, but that different dimension which we experience when we remove the shield of Maya. Maya means illusion. It's like you have a curtain, right? And if you're living your life in a curtain, you're only going to see things that only you believe or you relate to or you've been told, right? There's a lot of conditioning. When you start to remove the veil through practices of yoga, of meditation, if you ever are interested in plant medicine, or any other type of experience that will help you to remove the veil, you start to see something different. And it's scary. It is scary because it's something completely new. So our practice, especially our meditative practice, helps us to move through the difference because we don't know what it is. So it's very easy to be afraid. It's very easy to feel fear, to move with it on a very smooth level. So you've got a lot of things happening in the sky right now. You've got a lot, and the full moon is happening New York time at 10:35 this evening. So 10:35. That's 7:35 p.m. if you're in Pacific Standard Time, and Central Time. So if you're in Amsterdam, it's 4:35 in the morning. April 8th. So as you are waking up, maybe you wake up a little earlier and maybe you meditate a little bit more. So it's moving from right about now until tomorrow. And maybe you've already started to feel the effects. If you're, very tuned in, you will start to feel it. And don't worry if you're not tuned in, because you will be tuned in after today's meditation. So I can talk literally so much about this, but I really want to go straight into the meditation so you can really experience it, because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to truly experience it. So I really want you to also experience this. So wherever you are sitting, I'm actually sitting on a chair. So if you are sitting on a chair, you might take some cushions to make yourself comfortable, or you might be seated on the floor. If you're a little bit chilly, put a little blanket or something on there. Take anything you need, anything with you. Anytime you want to lie down, you're also free to lie down. If you feel more comfortable turning your camera off for this meditation, feel free to turn it off. So just make sure that you are comfortable. Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and let yourself arrive now. Let yourself arrive on an energetic level. Arrive fully. You're here physically, obviously, but let yourself arrive now energetically. Let yourself arrive into the space. And as you arrive, keeping your eyes very gently closed, let your physical body, and you have about 10 bodies that I will start to kind of reference, 10 different bodies. Physical body, the breath body, the aura body, the magnetic body. So much. Let yourself here just notice first your physical body, which is the most obvious. And see if you can let any sort of fidgets that you have, any sort of adjustments that you need to do, just get rid of those now. Make yourself comfortable. But at the same time, allow your spine to be very tall, very erect. Your spine has to be tall so that you can channel. You are a clear channel. We all have the capability to channel. This is given. We can do this as humans. But we cannot do this if we are in the logical thinking, if we are in fear. It's not possible. So in today's practice, I am going to teach you some skills and some techniques to help you move into a state of possibility, move into a state of hope. Right now, I'd like you to just simply visualize a horse, any horse that comes to mind. We'll use the image of the horse in today's meditation to help us, to guide us. Now imagine this horse moving towards you. And just notice where you are. Where are you? Are you home? Are you in a field? Are you in a barn? Where are you? And just notice, watch the horse, watch the action, the reaction, the energy of the horse. That is your energy. Just watch him or her. Let the horse approach you a little bit more, closer and closer and closer and closer. It doesn't matter if you've worked with horses before or you've never worked with them before. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you are willing. That's it. Willing to be open. Willing to be open. And just notice what you see in the eyes of this horse. What do you see? What do you feel? Let your eyes lock. Try not to look away from the horse. Just look straight at her or his eyes. In the state of visualization, let your physical body relax a little bit more. And as you are doing this in real time, notice what happens in your visualization. Do you also relax there? And then check in with your breath. How is your breath? Can you start to breathe a little more through your belly? Notice what changes, if there is anything. And then approach the horse a little bit more. Take a couple more steps. And just be still. Just be still. Let the horse smell you. Let the horse notice you even more, starting to notice the shift. It may be subtle for you, but for the horse, it's huge. Huge. Let your shoulders relax a little more there. Let your physical body be inviting. How does that feel like? How does it feel when you are inviting, when you are welcoming? How does that feel in your body? And so the more you are in tune with yourself, the more the horse will be in tune. So it's never about the outside world and what is being done to us, perhaps, or even how we are being treated. How are we treating the outside? It's very easy to complain and put the problem on others. But the real work really happens when we take stock of how we are influencing the masses. So right now, how are you influencing this horse, acting as an archetype here for your visualization? The horse is not judging you. It cannot judge you. It cannot label you. It cannot lie to you. It cannot forgive you because there is nothing to forgive. The horse does not remember the past, doesn't spend time in the future. It's present right now, right here. See if you can also embody that, to be fully present. Even though you are in this visualization, you're still here. You're still in the moment. You're still present. If you notice, even as your eyes are closed, that your eyes are wandering, just let the space in between your eyebrows be your focal point. Focus on the space in between your eyebrows. But still keep seeing the eyes of this horse. Notice any shift, any change, whether it's very obvious or very subtle. Relax your face a little bit more there. The spine is tall. You're never rounding the spine. You're turned on, you're tapped in, you're tuned in. Now I want you to visualize speaking to this horse. As you start to speak to this horse, notice what your first words are. What do you say? How do you communicate with this horse? What is it that you say? Is it a hello? Is it a nice to see you again? Is it a this is my first time being with you? Is this a wow, you're so beautiful? What do you say to this horse? Check in. Remember that everything that you are doing here visually, your posture, your breathing, the sound of your voice, the tune of your voice, the cadence, is influencing the horse. So you have to be very mindful, very delicate, but not powerless, because the horse needs a leader. If you are powerless, he or she will take over. You are still in power, but at the same time, you are also in a state of surrender. There's no ego involved. Notice what happens to the sensations of your body. Any tingles, any vibration, any pulsation. Use the horse as your archetype to notice. Now, if you start to notice any sort of challenge from the horse, notice your own reaction. So visualizing right now, perhaps the horse is maybe starting to move away from you, or maybe the horse is concentrating on something else. It's heard another sound, or its attention has gone to something else, or it's starting to get a little wild, a little antsy, a little irritated. Notice how you bring her or bring him back. What do you do? Just visualize. And as you're visualizing, notice how your body shifts and changes. If you are familiar with working with horses, this may come very easy for you. And if you've never worked with horses, it may be a little bit harder. Let yourself be open to wherever it is that you need to go today in your meditation. So notice how you perhaps react to the horse's reaction. Do you get defensive? Do you get angry? Do you get irritable? Do you give up? What happens? And then start to change your body language here. Get a little softer in the shoulders. Notice your feet. How are you standing on the floor? Are your toes out? Are your toes in? Can you be neutral? Be neutral. Your facial expression, your jaw, your eyes, the way you breathe. Start to visualize the horse coming back to you, coming back to you, coming back to you. And then go ahead and touch the horse. Not on its head, even though we may think that the horse likes that. They don't like that. Go ahead and touch the horse on its side. Notice how you touch the horse. Notice how your body starts to change a little bit. So you're still in your physical body, you're still connected, but you're also moving through this nowness and this visualization. As you touch the horse, what happens? You get to decide that. As you touch the horse, what happens? What do you feel? Let the horse feel your energy now completely from your touch, from the way you touch. And just be very artful in the way you touch. Turn your touch into an art form. Are you gentle? Are you harsh? Are your fingers touching the horse? Is your whole hand touching the horse? Just notice. And again, there is no right here and there is no wrong here. Your vision is your vision. And then gently you can softly release your hand or your hands away from the horse. Back away now just a little bit. Give the horse some space. Back away a little bit. Give the horse some space. And in your mind's eye, take your right hand to your heart in your mind's eye. Just feel your heart. As you feel your heart, take a look at the horse again and thank him or thank her for showing you yourself. Tell him or tell her, thank you for showing me a glimpse of myself. Thank you for showing me a glimpse of myself. And now start to walk away. Walk away, let him be, let her be. Walk away. Notice how you walk away. How is your exit? How do you exit? It'll also help you to notice how you exit anything in your life. How do you exit anything in your life is how you exit everything in your life. A job, a relationship, a desire, a dream, a purpose. We tend to focus so much on the entrance that we forget about the exit. Watch how you exit, how you leave the horse. Notice. I'm going to count to 3, and on 3, you are going to come back into your body. You're going to leave wherever you are, even though it may be hard to leave. I want you to come back to where you are in your home, around your 4 walls, and back to this moment on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Come back. Now that you're back here in your space, just noticing what that brought up for you. You don't have to analyze it. Don't think about it too much. Just feel it. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, longer, deeper. Exhale, longer and deeper. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Notice any shift in your posture. Stay with yourself. Keep those eyes closed. Hang in there. Stay with me. Let the shoulders soften a little bit more, like you had sort of sandbags on your shoulders, gravity pulling you down, whether you're sitting on a chair or on the ground. Let yourself be pulled down to earth, to Mama Gaia, which is our home. We're all sharing this home together. And everything that we do is affecting each other. Sometimes it might be hard to believe this, that do we really influence each other? Well, take this crisis, for instance. One person affecting another person and another person and another person. So if a virus is contagious, hope, love, possibility, courage, belief is just as contagious. And right now we're finding out what truly matters in our lives, who truly matters in our lives, who is still with us, who's calling us, who's checking up on us, who's curious about what we're doing, who's checking in to say, are you okay? And then also for ourselves, what are we doing? Who are we checking up on? Who are we calling? How are we serving? And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. There's just your way. But in this way, to be very mindful, just like you were with the horse, so aware of checking in. And you've heard this before from any teacher, from any master, from any guru: know thyself. Know yourself. Now, during this full moon, where you need a little more balance, that Libra brings for us, balance, and the sense of power that Aries brings in for us. Remind yourself of the intention that you're setting. Usually we set intentions on a new moon, and the full moon is kind of a closure. But because of the potency, set that intention again. Diana, please go ahead and mute yourself, darling. Please mute yourself, Diana. What is that intention? Make it clear and make it very specific. So for example, if an intention was something like, I want to feel brave, right? It's very generic, excuse me. It's very generic. Rather, something like, I want to feel brave in those moments when I get triggered from my mother, right? That's very specific. So instead of being very generic with your intention, get specific. The more specific you are, the quicker your intention will manifest. And let that intention, let yourself tattoo that somewhere in your heart. Let the shoulders relax a little bit more there. Let the breath be natural, but still very long and very deep. So you are breathing in much more of a conscious way. And then with your next exhale, send this intention out. Send it out to the world. Send it out to the universe. If you notice yourself spacing out, bring your attention to the space in between your eyebrows, your third eye, this eye that sees inwards. Now, as we move on to the next phase, I want you now to just imagine a mirror in front of you. Notice your instant reaction to the words that I just said. Imagine a mirror in front of you, and go ahead now and look. Take a look at yourself. Notice what happens as you gaze into your own eyes. Mirror work is one of the greatest ways to really move through whatever challenges that we find ourselves in. To look in the mirror and to fully self-accept. 100% of you. Every particle you are made up of, every cell, to accept yourself fully. Do you? Look in the mirror and just watch. Remember that every single part of you, every single part of you can be shifted and changed. Every single cell, every single atom. Why? Because you are energy. And energy can be changed. That's the beauty of energy. As you look into your own eyes, as you gaze into your own eyes, what do you see? Do you see love? Do you see regret? Do you see shame? Do you see beauty? Do you see fear? Do you see grief? Do you see loneliness? Do you see pity? Do you see betrayal? Do you see abandonment? Do you see joy? Do you see a zest for life? What do you see? And who is that me? Right? When you look at yourself and say, that's me, who is me? Who is me without your identity? Whatever job title you have, who is me without that? Who is me without the name that's been given to you? Who is me without the dreams and the hopes and the experiences that make you who you are? This constant change of me, right? And that me, is it the same me as a couple of years ago, 5 years ago? Is that the same? No, probably not. Hopefully not. And so that me is always ever changing, that me, mine. And just like you did to the horse, what would you say to yourself now? What would you say? Can you see that little girl in your eyes? Can you see your inner child? Can you see that little boy in your eyes? If you look closely enough, you just might see her. You just might see him. Because you still have the essence of that child. It never goes away. You're now in this adult body. And everything that we act out, that the horse mirrors to us, that we mirror to ourselves, comes from this stage of our lives. even before then, when we're in the womb of our mamas, when we begin to really listen and tune in, and we collect the pain of our own mothers, we collect their grief, we collect their happiness, we collect their joy. Everything they go through, we collect unconsciously. And so that's the work we do. How do we clear this conditioning to adapt? Keep looking into your own eyes. Whatever comes up, let it come up. If you could embrace yourself now, what would you do? Would you give yourself a hug? Would you hold space for yourself to take a moment to breathe, to shed a tear, to say something? What would you do? Just feeling that energy. And if you're not quite sure what energy is, if you think it's just some woo-woo stuff, think quantum physics, okay? Think quantum physics. Energy can never be destroyed. Our bodies can, we know that. We know that death is part of life. I hope we know that. Don't be afraid of death itself. If there's anything to be afraid of not living. And so, since energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. Check in with your personal energy now. Notice what happened to your shoulders, what happened to your spine, what happened to your face, what happened to your posture. Come back to the state of alertness and awareness. And if you could give yourself now a piece of advice, what would that be? Go ahead and tell yourself that. If you want to say it out loud, go ahead and say it out loud. And if you want to use that mantra, don't be afraid of death, but rather be afraid of not living. Maybe that will serve you if you're not quite sure what to say. Go ahead and tell yourself what you need to hear from you to you. Try to listen as you speak. Take your right hand on top of your heart. Keep the eyes closed. Your heart is on the left side, the side of your mother. She's with you. She's always with you. Whether you know her or you've never met her, she's always with you. And your right hand that is covering your heart is the side of your father. He's also with you. Whether you know him or you've never met him, he's there. And so to deny them would be to deny yourself. And so right now, whatever thoughts you have, intellectual thoughts, try to keep them at bay, but just feel their essence, just feel their energy. Feel the feminine side, feel the masculine side, the balance between the two. The sign of Libra that is collectively asking us right now during this full moon to step up and find that balance as we stay home, to go home, to go home. Just feel your body, stay in your body. Stay calm, stay collected. Stay in your breath. And then take a big, full, clearing inhalation and a full cleansing exhalation. And then join your hands together at the heart space to symbolize the union of duality. Your thumbs right at the center of your sternum, right at your central channel. Your left arm, your left eye, your right eye, your left ear, your right ear, your left leg, your right leg. There's a reason why we are like this. In this human form, having a spiritual experience. And also this spirit having a human experience. There is nothing we cannot get through. Take one more breath in. Let this be your last inhalation here, your last conscious inhalation. And then let it go, let it go, let it go. Let those shoulders relax. Exhale, 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 exhale. From my heart to yours, namaste.